And now for a rant on Gladiator 2. I did not like this film. I did not like the fact that a sequel to Gladiator exists. A sequel to Gladiator doesn't really need to exist. But I can tell that I have heard that this sort of sequel has been in development hell for years. I've even heard there's versions where they wanted to do like a story about, I forget this name, Digimon Honshu. I know I mispronounced this. I think his character's name is Jupu or something like that. He was in the first one, and he always gives a great performance. I think he was nominated for an Oscar one year for the film In America. So I'm very familiar with this actor. They wanted to do a film on him. That never happened. I'm told that a screenplay exists of Gladiator 2 that opens in the Pentagon. The Pentagon. You realize that this Gladiator is supposed to take place in like the Roman Empire days, right? Okay, so let's get to the plot of what they finally turned out. And before I get to that, I'm going to say I am surprised Ridley Scott is back for this film. I feel like Ridley Scott is one of our, he's like Steven Spielberg as far as like, there's like top 10 filmmakers and directors. He's surely at the top of the list of that because he has done some amazing things. He did not return for Alien Romulus, and which I thought, I kind of went like, well, that's kind of strange. It's an Alien film without Ridley Scott, but then again, he's done a few Alien films. I mean, James Cameron did that one Alien film. I'm going to get to some spoilers here about what happens in this film. Okay, so essentially it starts out with this one character, and I can't remember his name, but I think his name's like Hano or something like that, and he's in a part of Africa. I forget the province that he's in. And here's the thing, this character is kind of, they show this Africa having white people and black people, and this is going to show up a lot in this film. I kind of go like, I kind of went like, I shouldn't really judge by the race on this here, but historically speaking, I kind of went like, is this factually accurate? And I kind of, there's going to be a lot of times I'm going to say this. I'm only going to say this once. Denzel Washington is a major player in this film, and yes, he's of a certain race, and I'm not really certain if he could have gotten as high in the ranks of Rome realistically this way, although I am told that his character is based on a historical person. So maybe there was something like that. I don't know. I kind of went like, and I shouldn't judge here, and I'm not going to. And hey, I'm going to have to say, like, at this point in time, Gladiator is essentially rewriting history. Gladiator has taken things from history, like in the first film, you actually see Marcus Aurelius, a real Roman emperor. And he was killed by his son Commodius. That actually was true. Or at least he was killed by his son, I think. I don't know, maybe the Commodius thing, I don't know. Here, in this particular thing, they show Rome being dominated by two twins, which is strange because they were actually brothers in real life. They weren't twins. I don't know why they decided to go that direction. At first, I thought they were going to take one actor and kind of duplicate him, like you see in a lot of twin movies, like The Parent Trap or something like that. They didn't do that. So I just didn't really know what to. I don't really know what to think of this because it's just kind of like, yeah, we have a history here, but we're going to play with it. And most movies do this. I mean, most movies are not historically accurate. You know that. And we change a few things so we can tell a story. So Gladiator 2, the main character, I can't believe it's taken me so far to get to this. Their province in Africa, or country in Africa, whatever, is invaded by Rome. And this guy who has a wife, and the way they greet each other at the beginning, and they just go like, oh, we love each other. And I'm going like, yeah, she's going to die. And it's like, it's telegraphed so hard that she's going to die. You know what? I haven't mentioned something about this, but there's an opening shot of this thing. Gladiator has one of the best opening shots ever made of a man who's walking through a wheat field, and he just brings out his hand like this and he touches the wheat as it goes by. And it's such a beautiful image. So, how do you top that? You don't. You show a guy grabbing his hands into seeds and then feeding them to chickens. What does that symbolize? I don't know. So basically his wife gets killed because apparently she's a warrior in this society. And so this guy sort of sees Pedro Pascal's character, a general named Archaeus, and Hano thinks like, I'm going to kill this guy. Now, Hanno gets taken by Rome and is taken on a slave ship. And he meets like his king or something like that, the ruler of this country. And he looks a lot like Digimon Honshu, the character who played Jupu in the first one. And I kind of wondered, like, is this supposed to be the same guy? He looks just like him. And I thought, nah, this is just me thinking like all people from Africa look alike or something like that. Because I kind of went like, I feel like maybe the film wanted to go that direction, but maybe they couldn't find the actor or something like that. That would have been a very interesting tie, but at the same time, yeah, I really feel like I really wanted to see his story in another film. Maybe they're going to make that film someday. I hope they do. Hanno gets captured and he's taken to a slave ship and he's kind of forced to fight in, I think, the same arena that it looks almost like the same set that Russell Crowe was in. And he fights these baboons, and these baboons look so freaking fake that I'm going like, shoot, he might as well be fighting xenomorphs. It looks so fake. I mean, it just looks so bad. And I get that CG, I mean, there are certain things, I mean, we wouldn't have Gladiator, the first one, without CG. And that still looks good, I would say, the scenes in the Colosseum. It sometimes looks a little dated, and I think there's something in your mind that knows it's not real because you know what the Roman Colosseum looks like now. And in this case, when he's fighting the baboons, I could not get over how fake that looked. And it was such a, that so took me out of it. And speaking of taken out of it, Hanno is taken to the Colosseum, where he starts to fight and starts to become a champion. Now, this is where the film gets really dumb as far as its plot twist. This General Achaeus is married to Lucilla. Now, if you remember, Lucilla was in the first movie. And she was sort of, there wasn't really a romantic link between her and Russell Crowe's character, but you get the feeling like there could have been if he had been freed or something like that. Now, here's the thing, and I'm going to get into heavy spoilers here. At first, I thought this was going to be a straight-up revenge story of Hanno seeking down Achaeus and just killing him. That doesn't really happen. No. Instead, we find out that Hanno is essentially Lucius. And if you don't know who Lucius is, think back to Gladiator 1. You might remember Lucilla had a kid in that film who was super young and really admired Russell Crowe's character of Maximus. But the problem was, and they show this through a strange flashback, that after Lucilla had freed all the gladiators and stuff like that, she sends her kid away, and I don't know what they did to they probably just cast some other kid as Lucius there that kind of looked like him, because he kind of looked like him. Or they used AI. They did something. So they showed Lucius being sent away. So Lucius knows all the Roman history, and he's apparently grown up in Africa, and he settled down in that one place. And now he's back as the son of Maximus. Yeah, this film goes there. This film goes out of its way to make sure that Lucius is the son of Maximus. And I went like, that can't be. Everything I went with, okay, in Gladiator, he had a kid, he had a wife, Maximus, and they were killed. And at no point in time was there, I think it would basically betray the character. I think what they're trying to say is that Maximus had a love child with Lucilla before the events of Gladiator, the first one. And I kind of went like, okay, that really tarnishes Maximus's character, because when we see Maximus and Lucilla together in the first one, they're not interacting in a way that shows that they were past lovers, but they were shown in a way that Maximus didn't really appreciate her politics and her and stuff like that. But as I recall, there's a line where he says like, I don't really appreciate your lying or something like that, or I've never developed your comfortability with lying. It's a really good line, but it doesn't really work. The whole premise of this, based on this, you did not have to go that direction. You did not have to make this guy the son. You could have just said, hey, I'm taking up his mantle or something like that. You didn't have to go all that way. You shouldn't have gone all that way. This totally tears down the film for me, and it makes it like really, really suck. I was actually really enjoying the beginning of this film, but by the time I got to the end, I went like, oh, come on, man. This is not gonna work. I don't recommend Gladiator 2 at all.